break up a fight, be a good Samaritan. You might not want to get involved after we show you this one, because here's where we're headed. A cop gets qualified immunity for killing a black man breaking up a fight. Officer who killed an innocent black man trying to break up a fight is now protected from legal liability after a federal judge grants qualified immunity. The officer is Lieutenant J. Steinke. Looks pitiful in the picture, but this
Yeah,
guy,
he does.
he does. The picture looks pitiful with the drooping eyebrows. He can't help that, but he's pitiful, all right, overall. Let's talk more about what he did on this fateful day. 2017, fight broke out between two men at a bar in Wisconsin. That's an everyday occurrence. Nothing else should have gone down there. It led to two other men trying to break up the fight, including Jimmie Sanders, age 33 at the time, black man. Come on, guys. Let's break it up. Shooting took place May 21st, 2017, inside Jack's Apple Pub after Leander Moffett and Henry Nellum got into an argument that turned into a fistfight. They both fell to the floor, Nellum on top of Moffett. However, one of the men fighting pulled out a gun, and a single shot was fired, sending customers running out of the bar. That drew the attention of Appleton Police Lt. J. Steinke. He was on foot patrol outside the bar with another cop. Steinke drew his own gun. He entered the bar. He fired 4 shots, one of which struck Mr. Sanders in the back, killing him, even though Sanders was trying to break up the fight. Now, we should pause there. You might say, well, hey, a gunfire goes off. There's chaos. We don't know what's going on. The man goes in. He's trying to, see. No, even with a gun already shot, should you not assess? You're not even protecting your own life or that of any partner or backup. Sanders' mother filed the wrongful death lawsuit obtained by Atlanta Black Star, arguing that her son's Fourth Amendment rights were violated when he was shot and killed, even though he was not the culprit. But aha, to the rescue, privilege and power. Federal judge dismissed the lawsuit on the basis that Steinke was protected from liability through qualified immunity, a legal doctrine that protects cops from being sued unless it can be proved they violated clearly established rights. Evidently, there is no clearly established right that protects innocent bystanders from being killed by police. And it's that part. What kind of a law is it if you can twist and turn and bend yourself into a pretzel and get out of anything you choose? Is that a law? How can you ever be adjudicated if the standard keeps shifting and moving? Imagine it's the NBA Finals, Game 7. You pick the East. Steph Curry and his team are in the finals, in the West. And he goes to shoot the winning basket, but somebody with a remote control can shift the basket forward, backward, side, left to right. It doesn't make any sense. Why bother to play the game? And this is a high stakes game. The problem, though, is that a man is dead yet again, and no one's going to pay. Not the man who pulled the trigger. Chief United States District Judge Pamela Pepper. And she's about making me sick right now with her picture. I understand it's unrelated, but she's about making me sick just looking at her. I've got to calm down today. Judge Pepper dismissed the case with prejudice. What does that mean? Can't be refiled in the same court, but it can be appealed to a higher court. The plaintiff has not established that the act of shooting into a crowded place without first identifying himself or issuing warning violates the Constitution as a matter of law, wrote Pepper in her 58-page opinion. She could have just put that in one paragraph because we saw where this one was going. Mr. Sanders' death was a tragedy, But the court cannot conclude that it happened because the defendant violated a clearly established constitutional right. Well, she's a judge. What do I know? I know that it does not smell right. Atlanta Black Star reached out to William Sutton, the attorney representing the estate of Sanders, to inquire if he plans to file an appeal and to ask for video footage of the shooting that has not been made public. The attorney has yet to respond. Now, Attorney Sutton claimed Sanders had taken the gun away from Nellum, which was when the gun went off, striking Nellum in the arm. But lawyers representing Steinke claimed Nellum had the gun in his hand. There we go. You want to say it together? Pointed at the cop, prompting Steinke to open fire, striking Nellum in the arm and inadvertently striking Sanders in the back, killing him. Now, which is it? Okay. Which is it? Did you rush in and just start wildly opening fire? Kind of feels like that's what Pepper said in her ruling. But you didn't violate anybody's constitutional rights? Or did you aim like a sniper and then something went wrong? Steinke's attorney said video evidence, which has not been made public, shows Nellum walking toward the cop when he was shot by the cop. But the judge described the video as blurry and unclear. Also say Nellum fell to the floor, handed the gun to his girlfriend, Dre Sullivan, who then tried to hide it from police. A lot went down here, okay, that it's not making any sense. After firing the shot, Steinke stepped back outside the bar and described the person he had shot to another officer as wearing all black. Sutton argued Sanders was the only one wearing all black that night, which they say proved that Steinke intended to shoot him. But Steinke's lawyers, they argued he meant to shoot Nellum, and the only reason he shot Sanders was because other bar patrons pushed Steinke out the door as they were fleeing, which resulted in him missing his intended target. Fourth Amendment is not implicated because Mr. Sanders was not the intended target of the defendant's use of force, argued Steinke's lawyers. There's this pretzel-like behavior. We'll just bend and bob and weave until we figure out a defense that the judge, who is very willing and wishes to accept it, has the opportunity to do so. That's the way I see it. The defendant says that because Nellum was the sole intended target of the defendant's bullets, Mr. Sanders' Fourth Amendment rights were not implicated. Nellum, who survived the shooting, was sentenced to 16.5 years in 2020 after he was convicted of Sanders' murder, as well as being a felon in possession of a firearm, recklessly endangering safety, carrying a concealed weapon, using a firearm while intoxicated. And maybe I'm good with all that, Jackson, okay? This guy's a bad guy and he's involved in something. And oh, yeah, guns. First of all, this is why we don't need more guns than people in this country, because no good's coming of it. Not no good will come. No good is coming of it. This is just where we are, where we've been, and apparently where we're going. I don't have any foolish thoughts, Jackson, that we can get rid of qualified immunity. Okay. And I don't want to hear, by the way, people saying, well, if you get rid of that, you won't have people who want to serve. We already have people who don't want to serve because it's foolishness and in far too many departments. But can you make sense of Pepper's ruling juxtaposed with what we know or what was reported went down inside this bar where they're not releasing the footage yet?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, the reason that someone wouldn't want to be a police officer would be a lot more practical than that. It would be because depending on where they do it, they maybe wouldn't make enough money. It's not for them, or because it's not a good look culturally. But the idea that now, if I can't shoot and kill someone and get away with it, I don't know. I mean, that's part of it. It's a necessary part of the job. We have to do this because I think clearly it's obvious that this officer just ran into the scene rather and opened fire. Also, another example of why, as you pointed out, what good reason is there for people to just have guns out and about when they're in this building or that building? There's a lot of buildings that have no firearms, but regardless, I mean, you can make sense out of having something to protect your home, but we got people just up and about. Oh, I'm just going to shoot inside. I've been in environments where that's happened before, and now that I'm at the age I'm at now, it just seems like common sense, as well as to most Americans, that maybe we should cut back in areas like that. But unfortunately, the Republican Party's completely bought out by gun manufacturers. So, and even outside of the public, that's what the United States does. That's so much of how we make our money, is selling weapons to foreign nations. So it's just a part of who we are. And again, as we talked about with the law enforcement system, it attracts people who just aren't the best at it.
Yeah. Sometimes they're just bumblers. I would love to see their test scores. I don't really think the academy in too many jurisdictions does a great job anyway, but I'd love to see how they fared within that system. I don't know. Is it just pass fail? Maybe it's just pass fail for this all important job. But the other thing is this qualified immunity, which frankly a lot of government employees and judges and other people have. It's the larger thing. It's the absolute immunity that it seems these people enjoy, right? Police officers. Well, as long as their mind said they felt a threat coming on. Well, hell, I could feel a threat outside a bubblegum machine if I'm missing a quarter and my blood sugar's low. Maybe I feel there's a threat coming on. Okay. I just wish that there was some way to act as a deterrent other than now me, if I had a son, telling him, yeah, you see it wrong, don't write it, son. Don't jump in, don't try to help, don't try to save a life, don't try to protect other people because you will be targeted. And in this case, like Mr. Sanders, you could be killed. I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good general advice. I mean, unless it's someone that's very close to you, you just never know. Even if the police aren't
Yeah.
involved, you never know if someone has a knife or a gun, and everybody got guns in America. So, unless it's really pressing and personal, it's unfortunately probably
But isn't that
best.
sad, Jackson? I know I said to give you the last word. Isn't it sad when you're enjoying a couple of beers, maybe a football game in a bar, and you may not know the other parties, but you've been around them for an hour or two, and you say, okay. Isn't that sad that now Sharon Reed and Jackson White have to tell you, don't try to save someone's life. Let them duke it out. Okay, corral. If somebody dies, they dies.
Yeah, I mean, mind your business as much as you can, particularly because everybody got guns in this country, and you just never know. So, and you don't really know what's going on either. So you may
It's
think
true.
that you may think that you choosing the right side, and the whole time, no.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yep.
no. Yeah.
Well, there it is. So let's just shorten the talk that all parents have with their Black children. Mind your business is really all that needs to be said. And if you forget lesson number one, mind your business again. Okay.